Welcome to the Super Facts Show on the Super Facts Network, featuring St. Laz, who also hosts the popular web series Gem Pop and music journalist Mark Walter Ward. They have discussions about hip-hop, culture, society, philosophy, and everything else. Now available on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts. What up, world? It's your boy Mark Walter Ward, Super Facts Show, Super Facts Network. Today, I have the honor of being in the presence of a young man who labeled himself a legend. I'm gonna wholeheartedly co-sign that, and I'm gonna start this show out with an affirmation: live a dream and stay awoke. Did I say it right?
Live a dream, stay woke. Yeah.
Live a dream, stay woke. That is excellent advice, brother. This man, Bobby
Thank you.
Sessions, signed to Def Jam. I guess been on Def Jam for a couple years now. Got a vicious new song out with Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs, Gold Rolex. Video premiering, I believe tomorrow, right? With Rick Ross. Just was in
Yeah.
Black Panther 24. In the back, there's a story. Can you go ahead and tell me how it came to be, and then I'm gonna ask you if my interpretation of your story is correct.
Bet. Yeah. So, I got the opportunity to contribute a short story to Ta-Nehisi Coates' run of the Black Panther comics. There's like 25 issues, and I contributed a short story to issue 24 about the power of positive affirmations and the healing that it can do to your mind and your body when you speak positivity over your life. And it was all part of a collaboration between Def Jam and Marvel. And it was one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of. So thank you, Marvel, for that amazing opportunity.
Shit, no doubt. So you actually got to interact with Ta-Nehisi Coates?
No, I didn't get a chance to interact with him directly. I wish I would have got that opportunity too, but hopefully this work will lead to us being able to do that in the future.
I'm sure he's aware of you. So I mean, I don't know what's the etiquette. Am I allowed to talk about the story? Is it like spoiler? I don't know.
No, you can talk about it for sure.
All right, so in the story, a young child isn't being listened to in a hospital, and T'Challa comes in and uses. Well, I guess he doesn't even use technology. He just listens to what the problem is with the child and saves them. And I kind of viewed it as if it was somewhat of an allegory of like society doesn't listen to the voiceless, and if we had grace instead of judgment and listen to people, and we could extend some kindness and maybe fix some of the problems instead of always just trying to assume you know what's right, what to do, tell people what they need to do best for them, all that authoritarianism type shit.
Right. Yeah, that's a great interpretation of it. Yeah, that's definitely an element that's in there. In the story, there's a kid that's not being heard, and the lack of people listening to what he has to say is causing him to become increasingly more sick, and due to the doctors in the hospital not paying attention and trying to fix the problems with medicine, they're thinking like, okay, this is a lost cause. We can't do nothing about this because all of our medicine and all our training has proven to be not effective. And the Black Panther, T'Challa, coming in, listening to the child, and then reminding them that, the power of the positive affirmations, like I'm strong, I'm worthy. The kid began to heal himself. And I think that happens a lot in society. Like, we're waiting on people that don't have the tools to help take us to another level or help us deal with the stuff that we got going on, when it starts with us having that positive self-talk, speaking positivity into ourselves and repeating that over and over. And we start to change our outlook on life, and we begin to manifest and attract different outcomes over time.
And that was your character's, that page, it had a list of your abilities and stuff, and your power was your ability to manifest things.
Yes.
That's the name of the album, right?
Yes, Manifest. Yes.
And when's that coming out?
That's out June 11th, this Friday.
Oh, so it's coming out with the video. Oh man,
yeah.
Anybody hears this, y'all definitely need to listen to it. I was fortunate enough to hear an advanced copy, and it's just incredible, brother. I mean,
thank you, man. Thank you.
I'm bad with remembering names, but it's one luxurious.
Luxurious Serenity.
Luxurious Serenity. That was outstanding. Like the last song with the affirmation. That's just called Young Legend, right?
Right.
Man, that's fucking incredible. Like that's one of the best songs I've ever heard. I want to know what was the immediate reaction of the people around you when they heard it.
Man, that's a great question. So it was a wild energy in the room. I actually I did that record, and so 10 of the 12 records was done in Westlake Studios. One of them, the Made Away with Lecrae. The last two records, Made Away with Lecrae and Young Legend, were the only two that wasn't done during those Westlake sessions. I had those songs for like a while. The Young Legend one we did in Atlanta, and I remember the room being kind of dark when I cut it, and it was like just like a blue light. And like after I got out the booth, we went in and I ate something, and the engineer was like doing this thing. We came back and listened to it like super loud, and everybody, we just kind of looked at each other like, man, it feel like Nipsey Hussle, like spirit is in the room. Like it was like, that was the first thing that was said. Like it feels like Nipsey Hussle's spirit is in the room. And since then it was like designed to be like an outro of an album. And I'm glad that it ended up fitting with the new music that I made.
Now I could definitely see that, because I think part of the appeal of Nipsey was like how he so aggressively claimed his greatness,
right?
Without being like arrogant, cocky, and you know, in a manner that puts you off. You know, it was regal.
Right. That's a great observation, and that's been, I've lived my life in a similar fashion. It's like the things that I speak and the confidence that I speak with, it's not coming from a foundation of arrogance. It's coming from clarity. Like I see this vision of myself, and I speak in that manner in the present, and like things tend to manifest in my life because I'm constantly moving in a state of gratitude with like basically whatever I want to manifest in my life, I move forward like I'm already in possession of it, and the universe tends to just open its doors and allow me access to those desires.
Yeah, but I mean, bro, I totally get what you're saying, but the universe just don't give you, for instance, a Grammy. You earn that shit.
Right, for sure. And that was, which is funny because there were two bodies of work I released prior to me signing to Def Jam. One of them was called LOA, which is short for Law of Attraction. And in that cover art, I have a Grammy, like in that cover art. It was like a drawing. So it was something I was actively manifesting for a long time. But I was telling myself, and I was telling people around me, that I was a Grammy winner, like way before I actually had one in my possession. So when I go to a studio and I'm writing a song, I'm writing under the impression that I'm a Grammy winning artist, or songwriter rather. And then it ended up manifesting.
Now I can dig it, bro. Like I tell anybody, if they don't believe in the law of attraction, walk around with a plate all day, and I bet you by lunchtime somebody put some food on
it. yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's right.
So the man, it's just so much with you. But I see you just mentioned Westlake. So that 828 Westlake. I mean, well the South Side the realest freestyle is insane. But the 828 Westlake, man, you had a line that said lecture put me to sleep, all cap on that woke shit. Man, that is some profound shit. And I know I ain't say it right. Like you deliver it much more powerful than me. That's why you finna be on Forbes list and shit. But what did that mean to you specifically?
Yeah, so it was several things. So that 828 and Westlake, that was actually the first freestyle we put out that Manifest Mondays, where I was dropping a freestyle every Monday leading up to the release of the album. And that line in particular touches on several things for me. So it's like lectures put me to sleep, all cap on and that woke shit. It's like on one end, like from a literal sense, there's people that have this what they feel is this profound information that a lot of it is not rooted in any either research, or they don't got no real history applying some of the stuff that they want to share and get you to buy into. And it's like they're moving around like what they're saying is like on some woke, on some enlightened conscious thought and principles and things of that nature. but they haven't really researched the things that they're trying to teach you. They haven't trained themselves to buy in, to apply the things that they're trying to get you to buy in. That's one. And then two, it's like if you've reached the point where you have, did your research and you're actually applying that and you want to put that into music, at the end of the day, this is still the entertainment industry. Like, people need to still be entertained. It's up to you to crack the code on that balance on how you can not make any compromises or sacrifices with your messaging, but finding a way to make that enjoyable music for people. Like, nobody wants to be bored to death. Even if you're telling them something profound, it's your job as an artist to make sure that people have a good time, and that experience of them hearing them things is still one where they'll make it to a young legend. Because if you're not into the music, you would have never even got to that song, because it wouldn't have grabbed your ear or your attention. So it had two meanings for it.
Man, you ain't never lie. And about that first point, man, I find that the people that unsolicitedly lecture you often have the most, what would you say, like intellectual laziness when it comes to the ability to support their arguments. That's a hella valid point. And
I agree with that.
And then further in that song, you mentioned Gilbert Arenas. So I'm from the DC area. I grew up. That's my favorite wizard ever. So
yeah.
Regardless of the line, I'm just curious. Are you a Gilbert Arenas fan?
Yeah, I was. I mean, some of my favorite moments is him, shooting the ball and turning away, just having that confidence, knowing that it was going to go in. Though there's one famously where it didn't go in, but there's, I think he was a great basketball player and a great competitor. And I think, if that incident wouldn't have happened, I think more people would have got a chance to really appreciate the greatness that is, Agent Zero.
Yeah, bro. I feel like you're right. If it wasn't for that gun shit, people might, give him credit for being in the lineage of Steph Curry. Like, because a lot of that shit Steph Curry does, like the first person I ever saw that do that was Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, taking those super deep threes just with confidence and looking like, he could shoot it with the same effortless shooting motion of like a mid-range jumper. Like, he got buckets, and anybody that was watching basketball around that time, like Gilbert Arenas got down. Like, he was a real hooper, and really, in my opinion, he was LeBron's first like real rival.
Yeah,
in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it got to be so it didn't even matter as a Wizards fan. But there was like a good 5 years I didn't like LeBron just off the fact that I'm a Wizards fan, and we was always seeing him in the playoffs and shit.
Right.
Yeah, but
LeBron's first playoff series. Yeah.
That rivalry went away quick though. I'd be dumb to hold on to that shit. LeBron probably ain't thought about the Wizards like that in like 15 years and shit.
It's been a minute, but when he was, Gilbert was the main reason why, for sure.
Oh, no doubt. Shit, that man probably got kids older than his Wizards rivalry. I mean, younger than that. Right. So back to the manifesting. How'd you end up signing with Def Jam, and have you ever actually been to the building?
Yeah, I have been. I've been in the building several times. So back in 2017, I was throwing my own events in Dallas, and we started picking up steam. And I was making the early version of what ended up being chapter 1 of my Revolution trilogy that I have. So when I had like pretty much most of that done, my manager J Dot has had a great relationship with Paul Rosenberg, and he had hit him up and was like, yo, like, we really got some shit that's really special. And he went, met up with him and played him the music, and Paul was like, y'all want to meet him? So I met him like 3 days before Christmas at 2017. I played him some more music, and we met and just discussed the future. And he was very like impressed with, the music and the vision, and, with this whole Revolution series. And I was signed shortly after. I signed there like the next month in January.
Had you already made Revolution 3 at that point?
No, just chapter 1 at that point. And then after the fact, I made chapter 2 and chapter 3. But we knew we was gonna have several chapters before we put chapter 1 out. But I completed the other 2 chapters after the fact.
I ain't hear chapter 2. It ain't on Spotify. I ain't realized it was on YouTube till like 20 minutes ago. But man, that joint with Royce the 5'9" on chapter 3 is vicious.
Thank you.
And I know you ain't gonna co-sign it, but I'm not necessarily sure that Royce had the best verse. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
On every song I'm on, I feel like I got the best verse. That's how I always feel. But on that one, it's like his verse is I mean, it's legendary. I mean, Royce is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Like, you know, he's one of the, there's really nobody, when at peak Royce, nobody's really out rapping Royce the 5'9". It's just like, you know, he's a legend. That's the OG.
I
And I
mean,
was
he was a
super
legend though, bro. But he got like him and Jim Jones. It's like they found like rap human growth hormone or something. Like they got so much better, and they was already at a good point. Like in the last
right.
3-4 years. Like I ain't never seen it. I ain't gonna call no names, but most people seem to trail off into mediocrity once they start approaching their late 30s, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a very hard thing. We've seen, you know, like this wave of rappers as they age, their skill levels are doing the same thing. I don't think Royce the 5'9" has hit his peak yet. I mean, he's still he's
More and more
getting
mind blowing,
better,
right? Yeah.
which is hard to do at the level that he's at. I don't even know how you're doing that, and I hope to be able to have the same for my skill level to age as gracefully as his has.
I mean, ability wise and talent wise, for sure. It'll just, I guess it'll just be about how, you know, if you're motivated to do so in life. You know, in your
Right.
case, you might end up doing more advanced shit and just coming back to rap when you got time, like Ludacris.
Yeah, like, you know, ideally I see myself having more like a Andre 3000, you know, way of things, where I put out a lot of quality material and then you just see me randomly pop up on somebody's album. I spit a verse and then I go into music, you know, I chill for a bit, then I come back and say some super crazy shit and then I dip. But you know, I'll see how it plays out.
Hey, I think you would be well suited to any type of writing, be it film, books, whatever.
Appreciate that. Yeah, books is actually something that I'm doing now. So you can definitely expect to get a book from me pretty soon.
Shit, I'll definitely read it. I'm a voracious reader. I stay reading shit. But
Thanks, man.
you know, when I first started listening, you know, I didn't realize you was from Dallas. Well,
Yeah.
okay, the first thing I see, you got a song with the outfit, so I'm curious. Do you know who Lil Pooh is?
You said what?
I see you have a song with the outfit, and I wonder if you know who Lil Pooh is.
Lil Pooh, that's who passed, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was my man. I also write for Dirty Glove Bastard. That's how I got into Dirty Glove Bastard.
Right. Yeah. That's how I heard about Lil Pooh, and I think he was managing the outfit at the time, or had some role in their career.
Yeah, I know he definitely
With
helped.
that,
They had the video on the Cowboys, the Des Bryant John, right? That was them.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Possibly though. I'm not familiar with that, but
but
yeah, I heard
yeah.
about
He was
Lil
definitely
Pooh through the
managing them.
Dirty Glove Bastard. Yeah.
Yeah, now you know
Um.
he was getting the groups he was fucking with, like Means Out California record companies, when that's when, you know, whatever happened. I was just curious, but you know, since we talking about Dallas, you know, I lived in Houston for a long time, and you know, I'm from the
I see
DC
the
area.
Rockets hat. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just because I had to wear the Killmonger jump because you had the
Yeah.
Black Panther. Most of my hats is wizard shits, but sometimes I get
Yeah.
shit because I like how they look. But you know, being in DC, we was rocking with Dallas, Rap a Lot, Dallas, anything really, like long ago. Like we wasn't on we only listened to New York shit or West Coast shit in the '90s. So you know,
Yeah.
I got some knowledge of Dallas history, and I saw you were saying some names, Tum Tum, I don't know,
Big
but
Tuck.
Big Tuck, yeah. I don't know if you mentioned Charlie Boy or not, but you must have heard a lot of Charlie Boy in your day.
Yeah, I did. I definitely heard a lot of Charlie Boy growing up. I mean, you know, he was early on that wave of, I guess, like the melodic rap, like sing rapping, like, you know, it was still like being hard. Like, you know, we definitely was listening to Charlie Boy in Dallas for sure.
Who else? Like Duro, anyone I'm not thinking of?
Yeah,
I
Dero.
mean the DLC, right?
Yeah, so DLC, I think that was a little bit before my time. I got on DLC a lot later. I think because I didn't realize till later in life that DLC was from Dallas. I view like
Me
his music
neither.
as West Coast music, you know what I'm
Word.
saying? And then after doing my research, I learned, you know, he's from West Dallas and been repping that. But growing up, I was listening to more DSR, Dirty South Riders. That was a collective out of Dallas where, you know, Big Tuck, Tom Tom, Fat Bastard, like that's what we was on.
Oh yeah, bro. I got like 3
Heavy.
DSR CDs back here somewhere.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I was on. In regards to Texas rappers, I listened to DSR more than any Texas rap artists ever.
What about that man Mo 3?
Yeah, rest in peace to him. Yeah, I was familiar with some of his music. I wasn't on it. I wasn't on it super heavy. But you know,
Have you
that
got
was
more familiar?
I would say a little bit. Like I was on the one of my favorite records from him is that Apartments record with him and Boosie. I thought that was a pretty tight record. I that was a crazy loss. That was a crazy energy around the city when that happened, and rest in peace to him.
I mean, yeah, I wish nobody died, and I wish I had heard about him before he died, and I wish a lot of these talented artists didn't have to die for everybody to know about him. Especially like it's crazy to me how many people. I mean, it's not a retail album because it's just something they put out for streaming, but it's crazy to me how many people get their first like quote unquote real album after they died. Like why that record company didn't care about them beforehand, you know?
Yeah, that's wild how that happens, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people's visibility comes when you know they're not here to experience it. Yeah, it's a
Negativity
wild
in
thing.
general, you know, like I mean, I ain't trying to get too deep on it, but you know, I be into reading shit, and I ain't too much into conspiracy theories and shit, but especially concerning the black community, a lot of them conspiracies proven to be true, like the Tuskegee experiment, everything but that nature. And I often wonder if sometimes, and you know, not Def Jam necessarily. Def Jam's always had mad different kinds of artists, but some of these corporations try to only put out, you know, one image to increase the demonization of the black man, because you know, Me Too has supposedly got better for women and Black Lives Matter. It may or may not have got better for black people, but to me, it don't seem like none of that shit changed. Ain't nothing getting no better for nobody. You know, maybe some shit got better for some actresses on the casting couch or some shit, and as it should. But you know, I don't think things have changed that much for the better. I mean, again, not to get all political, but you ain't gonna convince me the motherfucker who made up the mandatory sentencing bill and some chick who lies about people being innocent so they can go to death row and she can maintain a prosecutor record going to come and save America from the racists. You know, like that shit just sounds crazy to me.
Right, right, for sure. Yeah, I think that was definitely an incentive throughout the history of the business of promoting black men in particular in a certain light to either increase crime, increase deaths, or to make us just to not show the best version of us and display that. And I think as artists become more educated about the history of that or the instances that's been the case, it's up to us to stand firm in what's true to us and make sure that we do our best to put our best foot forward and present ourselves in the best way.
You know, a lot of people my age, they complain about music now. One of the things is that there's not no good music, and I think that's insane. Like since there's so much more music, there's mad more good music that you just might not be. You gotta look for it. You ain't gonna find it in the same places. And I think the best
Sure.
thing about it is that this shit's empowered artists. Like artists can take their finances into their own hands. I mean, sometimes you do need a support system to generate a buzz, but you know, somebody like you could do 5 albums on Def Jam and live great on independently, or you know, get your own label, whatever. Like the
Right.
you know, you deliver, and then the world is your, you know, it's your oyster.
Right, for sure. Yeah, and I think the scenarios, whether independent or partnering with a major, it's all based on what your goals are and what stage you're at and what your plan is. As long as you have a plan, I don't think there's any right or wrong thing. It's just based on what your plan is and what you negotiate.
Yeah, I was about to say it ain't what you worth, it's what you can negotiate.
Yeah, for sure.
So man, I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer. It said you on your bio it said you quit a job in 2014 to pursue music full time. I'm curious, what
Yeah.
job did you quit?
I had like warehouse work. I worked in like an area in the warehouse where I dealt with it was called NMOs, which stood for non-machinable objects. So like basically like if a family wanted to send their kid something in Iraq and they had like a foot locker that's like 70 something pounds that just have a bunch of just shit in it, I would be the person like putting that on a like a conveyor belt thing and putting that into these like carts to push out to, you know, advance those parents getting that mail over to their children or whatever. And it was like everything in this area was 30 pounds and up in NMOs, non-machinable objects. So it was like some warehouse work. I was able to take care of myself and pay all my bills, but I felt like a cog in a machine, so to speak, like a hamster on the wheel. I'm doing something I don't want to do that don't give me no fulfillment. And even though I have stability, I was like, I didn't feel right. I didn't feel like I was using my gift. And at the end of the day, when you work in those jobs, I was making like, by the time I left, I was making 1403 or 1408 an hour, something like that. I didn't have like no savings because all the extra money I had, I was putting into making that LOA project. So at the end of every 2 weeks, I was broke anyway. So I was like, what if I just took that 40 hours a week and spent it instead doing music? If I'm going to be broke anyway, I might as well spend it using my gift. And that was like the thinking behind the decision. Because I knew if I stayed there, I pretty much guaranteed that it wouldn't work.
Word,
You know
bro.
yeah.
Your time is worth way more than $14 an hour, whether you can make incredible music or not. And B, I totally feel you. Them type of jobs is fucking soul sucking. The only time I've ever had them was when I was on parole and I had to have a job to stay free. I can't stand no
Yeah.
shit like that. That West, but I bet you was strong as shit though, because I was up
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
cabinet
yeah.
making motherfucking warehouse. Boy, I was toting heavy ass shit like man.
Oh,
That's probably
yeah.
the strongest I ever was in my life.
Yeah, I was I was physically fit and felt emotionally weak the longer I stayed there.
Shit, that's a hell of a way to say it. Shit, I guess we can't
Yeah.
end on nothing better than that. The album Manifest coming out. By the time y'all hear this, it'll be out. Make sure you check it out on all digital streaming platforms. Gold Rolex is a single out right now with Benny the Butcher, Freddie Gibbs. What's the name of the Rick Ross song?
Penthouse Prayers. It's also
Penthouse.
the
Yes.
intro. Yeah, it's the intro to the album as well.
Penthouse Prayers video will be out as well by the time y'all hear this. Make sure y'all go look up Bobby Sessions. Check him out in Black Panther Intergalactic Empire number 24. On the Coming to America soundtrack with Megan Thee Stallion. Probably gonna win another Grammy soon. Man, bro, I'm so glad I found your music. My wife had to
Thanks,
drive
man.
40 minutes to get that comic book, and she said to tell you it was worth it because she listened to all the
Wow.
Manifest freestyles and loved it.
Man, tell her thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And man, I got 3 kids, so you got 5 Bobby Session fans over here, and I look forward to watching you succeed, brother.
Man, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man, for real.
No doubt, man. You take it light, man.
All right, man. You too.
Peace.
Peace.
The Superfacts Network, home of Jump Pop, SCE, and the Superfacts Show, now available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts from. Come check out St. Laz, G from the Shop, and Mark Waldo Ward.